It's Diana, art by Diana Myers. This is Paint and Create every Thursday night at 7 o'clock. And tonight, we're going to do some bunny ears. Now, I don't got the original painting here. It's around somewhere, but I do have the tracer. And I had originally done this on wood, and I've since had to move because something happened to my house, and it kind of got destroyed. And a lot of things have been moved around. Most of it's in bins. I save my artwork. Some I donate. Some is gifts to family. Some I sell. So I'm not sure where it went, but I've done this many times. So today we're going to do it on a small canvas. It's actually kind of a beat up canvas. And I think next week we're going to do this. I've done this a few times. I did him on a big one, but really I think he looks the best, or her, on this small little canvases. They're like 4 by 12 or 14, I'm not sure, but they're these little box canvases are wonderful. They just look a little classier, you know. So we're going to do her next week, but this week we're going to do these ears, and I'm going to kind of guide you along. Now there is a little bit in both of them. I'm a palette knife painter, it's a little palette knifing, so I'll explain that to you. I'm going to put this up there and change this around. Change it up. A while. But anyways, on Saturdays I do 4 o'clock in the Artsy Rose group, and if you want the tracer to this, that's where it's going to be, and I'll put the link up right there. It's a free group. You go over there, you can join the class, follow if you want, like, sign up. So I am not doing it on wood tonight. The wood I have, if I did it freehand, would just be big enough, but I wanted to do it with a tracer, show you how to do it with a tracer. Now, this is an old canvas that I painted over, was going to do something else, so you can see some of the old painting through it, but I like that. One of the reasons I started palette knifing was you can paint over old paintings. In fact, if it's got a little texture to it, an old painting, little bits and pieces, I use texturizing paste and paint thickener. It's awesome. So I kind of like some of the wild background to show through. So if you guys have ever done a tracer, what I do is I just take graphite paper and I put it down, ink paper, ink side down. For all you newbies, this is what it looks like. It's an old piece. And then I put my paper down and I pick a pencil or whatever you want. You could do a pen too. I tend to do pencils because I can rip the paper. I do have styluses, or whatever you want to call them. And occasionally I'll get it out, but just one more thing. It's here somewhere, this paper away. So that's why I did the tracer first. Then I kind of went over with a pencil. That's for next week. Just to darken it so you can see it. I can see it fine. But mostly what you want to do is you want to pick up these ears, and the flowers, you can do any kind of flowers. So I'm going to get you guys up here so I can center this and paint it. Rustic bunny ears. Here we are. You can see myself. There I am. This big old scarf on because I got a little paint on it. Because I was freezing, guys. I had regular clothes on. I had, I got paint. It's my painting jacket. You can see I got paint all over it. My painting jacket. So, yeah. Alright, so I picked out a few colors. You can use what you want. I got this buttermilk. It's an off-white. You can make your own off-white by adding a little peanut butter color. It's called deep ochre or yellow ochre, which is kind of they have a caramel too. These are all deco art. And then I picked up a couple of pinks for the flowers. Well, one's a vivid violet and one's carousel pink, but maybe a vintage pink would be better. But I have this whole new thing. I got everything up on a wall in these containers, those old shoe container things you put your shoes in, hanging off the back of the closet up here. And I got all my paints in it. So I'm just going to take it out wherever I'm painting it. At times I had him paints all over my table. But I picked this up today because for some reason I hardly have any green. I go through green like crazy. Green and yellow. So, anyways, I got a lot of pink over there. Seems like I never forget to order pink. Alright, so I'm going to go right ahead and I'm going to start the background on this first. I always do the backgrounds first. Now, I remind you that a lot of palette knife artists also use a brush stroke too, so it's a combination of both. So let me get I made up a wet palette yesterday, a clean one. Threw the old one out. It's just a plastic container. with 2-3 layers of paper towels, wet but not soaked. That's pretty wet, but I got kind of wet. And then I put parchment paper down, and I put my paint on here. Now, you can throw the paper away when it's done, but if you put too much water in there, the paint will spread overnight, especially the Deco Art. But even when I'm using the thick-bodied paints, it will do that too. But this is just a way for me to save the paints and then remember what color I used too, because sometimes I mix them together and I'm like, what did I do? Well, this is a good way to keep your paints kind of together and keep them moist as you're working. And at night, put a lid on it. So look at that, guys, another lesson. So this is an ochre color. I use this on just about every color. When I want an antique look, I'll add this to just about anything. You have to be careful with, you know, different colors. It's like, you know, obviously yellow and blue make green. So when you're using blue, or yellow and blue make green, you know, don't add too much. You just want to just tone it down a bit. Well, I'm going to need more of that. Let me just put more of this. All right. And then I want a little pink, a couple different pinks for the ears and for the flowers. I kind of was so busy today. The car was in, my granddaughter hit the curb over in front of the mall over here. There was debris in the road, so the insurance paid for it. So wait for the check, but they're going to settle. When I pick my car up, paid for it, and there is a little dent in the front. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. Hubcap looks like it's been through the mill, so I don't know if they can replace that or buff it out. So yeah, just one of those crazy weeks. So nothing bad. But I've been cleaning and going through all my stuff and got some pretty neat stuff. Spring's coming. I was already doing some spring stuff. I planted some plants and it snowed for 2 days. There was snow like 5 inches on the ground. Yeah, welcome to Central New York, right? Let me put this tape away. Yeah, so I'm gonna be doing some stuff over in the Artsy Rose too. So make sure you come in on Saturdays. I just seen a couple. I want to do another. You guys know what jelly plate printing is? It's pretty cool stuff. Well, I just seen some interesting things, guys. I just learned one new technique. Well, printing is. You do it with Posca pens. I just learned one new technique. I mean, I got like all these ideas now, so we're gonna be doing that real soon because Diane is all like excited. Hold on, I turn this sound down. There you go. Put this back up. Sometimes if I make a comment, people will come on here and see hello. G-O-L-O. Oh, 2 L's, right? Hey, cat. Hey, girl. Oh. All right, so like, I got my other group. I do that on every other week on a Friday, and that's a paid group. And we do interesting stuff in there, too. And they kind of know everything that's going on in my life, too, because, you know, I got this stuff going on, and they've been with me the whole time. So I haven't really opened the group up. If anybody's ever interested, all you got to do is ask until I get back to it. Right now, I'm in a kind of a hubbub with, I don't know about your part of the country, but this part of the country right now, Facebook wants us to store our own live videos, and I have a lot. I'm going to go over the back of this a little bit with the butter notebook. Just kind of paint this on first, just to cover some of this crazy background. I love the texture in it, so I'm not even going to mess with it. I mean, I can go through and really cover it up good with some gesso or something, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to color this right now. So I've been downloading videos. I didn't know what I was doing. I was waiting for them to send me stuff. They don't send you everything in order, which causes another problem. Now there's a lot of stuff I could ask for, like posts and all that. All I wanted was my live videos for my classes. So I've been doing it, but it's not easy. It's making me, I'm getting close to where I want to be now. And then I can get back to some other things I've been wanting to do. I've been wanting to do some specialty classes. Like earlier this year, I did, Word of the Year and Vision Board. I wanted to do a summer vision board. I don't know if I'm going to get to it at this point. And I wanted to do, habit stacking, a whole bunch of just things that'll help your artistic life, you know. So just putting it out there, because if it comes up, you'll kind of know that I had been planning on it, but then YouTube happened. Well, not YouTube, Facebook. It's just, and I get it. They want us to store stuff. I mean, I store my emails, store lots of stuff, store stuff on my phone, you know. So I'm just kind of going through here and just getting some of this background on first. All right. Just an off-white. It's called buttermilk, but you could probably make an off-white like with a pale yellow and white, or you could even do like a blue or something. It doesn't have to be this color. You know, I give you creative license to do whatever you want. All right, so now I want to do the ears. I did the ears like in a white, so let's go get some white. I need some white. Well, I did it in off-white too, but we're going to do it this way, so it doesn't matter. Do like kind of a, I'm going to do this like in a brown bunny puppy color, which I can do with this ochre. Makes a nice like light brown. It's a really pretty color. One lady said she had a hard time finding it, but Deco Art makes one also called salted caramel. If you do any kind of like really super professional painting, ochre is in like every line from watercolor to you name it, pours and acrylics and oils. So it's a pretty common color, but it wouldn't surprise me when I run out, because they do run out of certain colors. This would be a color, forgot who it was, I think it was Cindy, that they would run out of, because it's just a popular color. You can use it for a lot of things. So I'm going to go through, I go dark to light whenever you're painting, especially with acrylics, not with watercolor, acrylics and oil. It's always dark to light. Gouache too, so get it in dark, and I'm going to lighten this up. But right now I'm just like filling in some color, because I plan on going over this a little bit with a palette knife. I'm going to add a little white. So like, see how I'm like not getting this on even? I'm kind of just dabbing it in because I want that kind of old look to it. They call my painting painterly, but it's actually kind of a, it is Impressionism that I do mostly. If you guys kind of follow me and you like Impressionism, you're going to see I do a lot of it. You know, here's one of my little ones. It's just cute. I seen a picture with bottles on it and I fell in love. I did another one too. That one I didn't do so much Impressionism, but I think you'll see what I mean. I kind of just dab everything on, you know. Kind of Monet and Van Gogh like. It's just, when I learned to paint, oil paint, I lived in Charleston, South Carolina. My husband was in the Navy, seeing the world. I stayed home with kids. And I took classes in Somerville, South Carolina. And a lot of old money down there, and I was the youngest one around learning that, so I just, they did that kind of painting. That's what I learned. So first painting I did was two ducks going over a pond. I couldn't even tell you who the artist was, but it wasn't like anybody knew. We didn't really learn from tracers back then. We learned from, or templates. It was just some artist up front saying, do this, you know. All right, so now this is going to be very impressionistic right here. So I'm going to get a palette knife out. Now you can use any kind of palette knife you want. I don't have my pointy one here, which is over in that bucket. I can see it, but I'm not going to go over there. So let me use a plastic one. I can use plastic one. This plastic one's fine, guys. I got two. This one's more pointy. I like the pointy ones with the small things. These are probably Dollar Tree. I'm not even sure. So these are good too. You know what's nice about these? When I buy a metal palette knife, I like it bendy. It just works better. If it's too stiff, it's, you know, you can do it with credit cards and stuff like that, but if they're too stiff, I don't think it does as well. You can't get like in between the little creases and cuts and stuff. So these ones are actually fine for that. Although I broke one. Believe it or not, I actually broke one a couple weeks ago. Yeah, so I'm kind of heavy-handed. I'm a moose. The truth is, I'm a moose. So now I'm going to go take this color and this color, and I'm not going to use any thick or anything. So this gives you a little thinner look. Usually I use a little gel medium. And I'm just going to kind of go in here and start mashing around some color. Mix them up on the side of my knife. We're going to make a pink in the middle here too. This just kind of taking the palette knife and I'm just going back and forth and just kind of looking at it. You know, the thing with art is you really got to look at what you're doing. People just want to not look, I guess. And you'd think that's a silly thing, right? I took a class, a night class actually, at a high school here, and it was a SU professor. They got a big art thing up here, and he said that's important. And as I'm got my hand on my chin, I'm a thinker. And he's like, oh, he says, you're fine. He says, just keep looking. And he was very happy with my paint, so I can't complain. But it's just, I never really thought about it. I just really look. You gotta really just, sometimes it's not about painting, it's about looking. I say you should like maybe sketch a little bit. Drawing is very important. You just kind of look, you know, really look. Put it on there and take a look. I like it when I put them up. Just being a little, it's not necessary, but a little easel doesn't hurt. I got two big easels I can't really use here because I have the room right now. I'm working on this other room I have here for my little studio. Long story. But my granddaughter was here for a while. And I got one I got out in my living room. I'm so afraid to dump and paint everywhere, so I'm a paint slob. Alright, so see how I just kind of put it on there? I'm not really done with that. So I'm going to go into the pink now. Same one. And I'm going to add a little bit of that ochre. Just to tone this down, make it look a little antique. There is one called Vintage Pink that they make too. It's like a very muted pink. Then I'll add a little white. And I get like a really subtle pink. I'm going to go in there with this and kind of... Now you can just do this with your brush, guys. You don't have to do this either, but this is what I wanted to do today. I originally did this on a piece of wood. So I know I have it because I remember the wood. But there's another one I did that has a bunny with these ears in it, and I sold that one. So, yeah. If you guys are ever interested in any of my art, all you can do is DM me and I'll tell you what the deal is. I'm not real expensive with all the small stuff. If you join my group, you might even win something. I give out art for, you know, mostly this kind of stuff, the small stuff. Yeah. I gave out some good stuff this month, you guys. I think. Little art supplies, mostly. Just little pieces of paper for my ATC people. You know, we're doing all the trading cards in our group, and we do a lot of fun stuff. You might see some stuff you don't really want to see, but then come over and find out what we're doing. Sometimes I plan in advance, sometimes it's the spur of the moment because I'm that kind of girl, but yeah, come over and check it out. If you want to try all different types of art, get ideas, it's a place to go. That's what I do. I think when you're learning art, whatever you find, if you like painting, I do mostly acrylic painting, you should experiment because I think like you can get bored or feel not motivated. Well, go try something else, you know. I don't know, it could be anything. Try a new cake recipe. I do that too, which is a problem now. I'm supposed to be doing that stuff. I can't help myself. I'm sorry. I gotta behave. I've been being a bad girl again. So now you got the idea. I can go through and I can kind of adjust it with my, do some, they call this graffito, where you go through and you scrape away little sections to make them even. You could add some highlights. Just with the tip of it, like you got a pen. Just like you got a pen. You're just going to put the pen on the tip now on that side. You can go through and highlight with it by just doing the tip. Now, because I have got a thicker on this, it's a little soupy, so it works a little different. But I think when you're first starting, this is kind of the way to go. Because it can be a real sticky mess. And then get some, you know, medium, thickening medium, and you can just kind of learn from there. Just add a little bit at a time. Kind of what I did. I didn't like just, I didn't learn with these kind of paints, for one thing. I use Liquitex, and it's a regular body. And sometimes I use heavy body, because they make both. Well, most companies have both now. I was going to go get you some, where's my gel medium? I just ordered a new one, because I'm just about out of this. This lasted me like over a year, but it's like, it's a mess. Don't look at here, don't judge. But it's like really super sticky. And I can really do it up. It shows up how gunky it is. Can you see how gunky that is? It's like really chunky. It's like, I don't know, somewhere between Vaseline and I don't know, it's really thick. And it dries really fast. If you got something that you're painting and you want it to dry fast, this is something you should get. But they have stuff for that too. All you gotta do is ask. So I gotta put some over here on the side. It gets really hard fast. So really you gotta kind of, as soon as you get it on the palette, use it. Either mix it up with something or it's gonna just dry right there in the palette, and put some on here. Now, and you could still go back with, say, a small round brush, and you could maybe take that hot pink, maybe put a few highlights on the outside with a regular brush, just to give it some definition. Just giving you some options here. And look at it, see what you want to do. I'll take some white, put some more white in here. So now the flowers, now you can color the background first, which I might do actually. I'm going to kind of go through with that same beigey buttermilk color, it's called. I just kind of, I can still see the little marks, so that's okay. And I'm just kind of scrunching these out. I'm not trying to do it like I'm painting a house. I tend to do crisscross patterns when I'm doing big paintings. I just think it takes up less on your arms. Not everybody paints with the easel either. You know, some of the ones who do the really big stuff, they got a table or they get right on the floor. Or they nail them to the wall. I love that. I've done that. When you make a mess out of your floors and your wall. Especially if you do some big ones. I don't think that's always a good thing. So working flat is okay. Preferable with my legs. My legs are getting old. Alright. So now, what do I want to do? I think I'm going to do the big ones first. Let's go through with my palette knife. I'm going to get that darker purple. What is it? That is the Vivid Violet. Who's up here? Kathy Jo. Vivid Violet. And I'm going to go through just some of those big flowers I already had in there. I'm going to kind of just slop them in. Just kind of make some little mushy circles here. Make them look like roses. We're going to adjust these too. This is just kind of putting in some background. Really, you don't have to do this either. You could do little sunflowers or maybe black-eyed Susans or lilies, whatever you want to do. I'm not even exactly following the pattern here. I'm just going. All right, not too much on this one. All right. Oh, I need some green. I'm gonna need some green in here. I just grabbed a big bucket of this Kelly green. This time of year, you can use a lot of green and yellow, summer pinks, because it's summertime. You're going to be using a lot of summer colors. So, like, I always, like, Christmas time, I stock up on, like, darker greens and red and gold. And then, like, Halloween time, you're going to stock up on black and oranges. You know, all the fall colors. So, it's kind of the same thing with summer. You want to stock up on some of your, if you're painting consistently, you're going to want to do that. Oops. A little green in here. So this is just a pretty color. It came in a nice big size. I have a gallon of a green for my paint parties. It's a Declart's Grippy gallon. But it's like a blue green. So it's not like a green. I wanted a green. So, and I'm just going to start going through and just kind of putting these little marks. Did you know in palette knifing this is called mark making? They use it in a lot of terms, but mostly that's what they do. They call it mark making. I'm just going to get a few background greens in here. And I'm going to add a little ochre to this too to kind of keep it on the antique-y side. I have a couple tricks when I want to keep it on the dark side. I don't like using black, but I have seen another artist I know and I love it. She uses black to make a green. Doesn't make sense, right? And let me tell you something. It's like a really muted green. It's really pretty. I need a little more ochre in there. There's too much ochre in there, I said. Really pretty green. So I just want a couple of different greens in here. Same thing, you can still use your brush. Don't be afraid to. I know why people think when you palette knife everything's about. There's no, there is. They do use their. Now I'm gonna kind of start slicing through this. You get a different look when you do it flat than when you do it on the side. You get almost like a spiky look. Now I'm working kind of wet on wet. I'm not letting anything dry, so just make sure you hit where you want to hit. Oops, see what I did? Happens. This is not like with the palette paint or the thicker paint. It dries pretty fast, so I don't always worry about it. Get my other pink, put the other pink in now. Same thing, just make a little abstract pink roses here. Didn't we do this before, Kat? We did this before. You did it with me, didn't you? We took a class. We did this before. I know because I had this 3 years ago. It was in 2022 I had this in there. The tracer. I was looking for something else to do, you know. And I got involved in all that YouTube stuff I'm fixing up. So I gotta get something quick here. I have plenty of stuff I've done over the years, so until every now and then I forget about stuff too. I'm like, oh, I never finished this. I didn't make the tracer. I didn't finish the paint. It's in my books. I have books and books and books, you know. Yeah. I think I might even add a few white ones. Let's just go ahead and do some. I'm thinking, yeah, I think white ones might be working. I can kind of fix these up a little bit with some pink. Let's add some nice thick white ones. Look at that. That kind of works too, right? Makes them pop a little bit. Yeah. Let's put one right here too. Get right up in the bunny's ears. Put one over here. You need a little balance sometimes. Sometimes you gotta just kind of, it's like rearranging, you know, your composition. It's like, I call it rearranging, realigning or redoing the front room, the living room. Because sometimes you're like, well, it don't look good here, so I'm going to add that. Like, you can take this, you can take it right off. And you can come back in and fix up with this stuff, same color. So you just took it out of there. I didn't like it right there, so I took it out. While it's still wet, you go through and kind of adjust it a little bit. Like that, you just took it out. You can't always do that with oil paint, because you might go back 3 weeks later, it's still wet. So you really got to learn some wet on wet techniques so you don't like screw up too much. But on the other hand, oil painting is a good thing because it teaches you a lot. And it's very translucent. I think it's like the best for landscapes. I just feel like they have to be done in oil. Although I have done them in acrylic. I've taught them in acrylic. But I really feel like I just look really good. A little more of a process, but they just are a pretty painting for landscapes. These for flowers too. So I think you get the idea here. So I'm going to take a little white and kind of twirl it around in some of these pink ones. Just so they look more like roses. Still using the tip. I'll take some white and put it in the purple ones. Use it just like a pen. See how I'm holding it? Maybe put some pink and purple in these white ones too, see? Let's see. Yeah, so kind of an eventful week. I got a lot done around here though because I couldn't go anywhere. So, you know. I had a lot of mail because I have like a mail room down here. It's like a mobile home park, kind of half and half. Houses down here too. A little more out in the country. I'm not quite used to it, but I'm getting used to it. It was just the best deal. I don't know if you guys have seen the price of housing. The house got hit by a car, and oh god, they did a number between the hoses and just it knocked out 3 floors in the house, and oh god. And I live in a city, so it's like you can't leave stuff out. Oh, What a nightmare. So it was just better just to sell it. But somebody else is working on it now. Had a hole in it. I didn't get a lot of money, but I got my insurance, so I bought this little mobile home. It's not really little, but it's not double wide. I need nothing that big. And I got it brand new. They were getting rid of it off the whatever they call it. And so I'm putting a garden in now, and that's fun. I got all kinds of plants. My whole dining room, kitchen are all full of little starts and plants I found cheap. And you know what's something funny? I had cauliflower when Jacob was a kid. I don't know where it is. I think he got run over. They took out half the garden to get the car out of the house. But I got one of those Dollar Tree little kits, which I never buy, but just out of curiosity, I bought one. Do you know that little sucker took? The thing is, you won't really get any flowers for 1 to maybe 2 years. They're just, they're so tiny. But I was like, look at that. And I love growing stuff from seed. I just like a little sick. I mean, I enjoyed like getting it right from the start. And I got some bare root plants, and I got them planted in pots. They're on the back porch. I know it snowed, but they like cold. Lilacs and lettuce and stuff, and they're right out in the back porch. So I got a bunch of stuff started. And my daughter helped me plant bulbs in the fall, and they're all up. All kinds. I got like one of those packs where you, it's for every month there's like some kind of flower. So I got a whole bunch of different ones. I'm so thrilled with it. Made me feel good. I miss my old garden. It took me a long time. My husband said the garden was worth more than the house. Isn't that the truth? I had a lot of garden out there. But a lot of this stuff came from friends and family, and I got a few things bring with me. Some didn't make it, but I tried. A few things made it. Had a lot of roses. The rose bushes were too big. I had huge rose bushes. I got one I got last year. It's doing really good. Well, look at that, guys. See what I did? So you can look at it. Hey, Stacy girl. Hey, Chris. Can't see it. My lighting in here is terrible. I put this other kind of light in here, and I'm still debating whether I like it or not. But now I'm going to go back over some of this with the brush and kind of fill in the gappy areas. Cool, huh? So now I think it needs a little more green in between here, so I'm just going to take a round brush, and I'm going to go through and just kind of make a little tiny, adjust it where you need to. Fun, huh? I tell you, I did this like 3 years ago. It was 2022, so whatever that was. April. Actually, no, it was March. I got so many things there now. The only way I find something is I have to remember the date. So I'll write down, okay, that painting was April 15th. And then I can go back later and get it out. Or I started sectioning them all into sections. Paint party, paint classes, for sale, that kind of stuff. What a pain in the butt. People think this is easy. This is not easy, huh, guys? Not easy. Not easy. But fun. So now, I don't know, I feel like I need to darken these edges up a little bit, maybe because I got it so light over here. So what can I do? What can I do? What's the opposite of yellow, guys? On a scale, it'd be like a purple or a blue, right? So let me see if I got little... I think, actually... I'm thinking, yeah, I could just probably use that violet I got and mix it with the ochre, and it'll tone it down pretty good. Give me a little bit darker color. Let's see if that works. Yeah, kind of an orangey purplish color. I just want to kind of darken up some of this right here, just a touch. Just a little bit. Maybe a little bit here too. Just a little something, something, right? Sometimes it's all it takes, a little something, something. All right, so I don't want to, whoops, I want to mess up the background a little bit to kind of match the painting. So I can take some of that white and ochre, whatever colors I got over here, a little white, kind of just a bit here too. Kind of brings it all together, you know what I mean? I think so. You know, if you got a few pencil marks or something that shows, it doesn't really matter. I used to be a stickler about not having any pencil marks showing. So I went up to Niagara Lake. I don't know if you guys ever been to Niagara Falls, but there's actually a whole city pretty far, 15, 20 miles, is called Niagara in the Lake. And the whole lake, or the river of St. Lawrence goes right by it. And they have these, what do they call those things that go across on wires, and you get in it and you go across. And came to this little village, and really famous artists are in there. And I'm looking at this watercolor. It's got pencil marks. I was flabbergasted. Really thought I was something. And turns out, I've since seen art. There's a lot of artists, like Picasso and them. Not unusual to see a painting with some pencil marks, so don't freak out, okay? It's still art. If it looks good, it doesn't really matter. Right. Right. Kind of cute, huh? That might be a keeper, guys. Might have to sign that one. I think it needs one more right here. I think it needs one more. So that's it for tonight, guys. I'm teaching my inner circle, my membership people tomorrow night. Nice, small, tight group. We're all like buddies. We're going to do a bunny. Got a couple bunnies we're doing. And a cross. We're doing just the one bunny for Easter. And then I got, you know, all those are all Diana originals. And you can only get them if you're in the group. So if you see something floating around here and you want to do it, you gotta get in the group. So like I said, I haven't really opened the group per se. But if anybody's ever interested, all you gotta do is ask. And you can get in for a few months and get out. So, let's see. You glad to catch me live? Yeah, I'm live, all right. Well, it's every Thursday night, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Every week. I've been doing this forever. Used to do Wednesday nights, and my daughter comes and visits me, and we run errands. So it's every Thursday night now. And my group, it used to be Thursday night, so they were Friday. So I've always been on Thursday nights. Says, oh, God, I don't know when. The 15th, I'll be on Tuesday afternoons between 1 and 2. But I usually keep the same hours. And Fridays is always 4 o'clock. Or Saturdays is always 4 o'clock. That's got to be in a group, though. And it's live. And, I got all kinds of stuff I want to do. We'll see. I did this last week. But we're going to do, I told you, I found some really cool, I got some really cool guys that can do some jelly plates. I got to try one right after this class, some really cool jelly plate stuff. A couple weeks ago, we did reverse watercoloring, if you don't know what it is. You got to have one of those magic erasers. It came out so good. So I'm always trying different stuff because I feel that's important, that you should try different stuff. You go back to the things you love, but sometimes you don't know until you try it, you know. I got some clay projects. I got, we're going to be doing some rocks and some watercolor, and we're going to be having fun in that class over there. I just sent out a bunch of Happy Mail, and we're doing it. The chat group has the ATC people in it, and you go over there and you can sign up and do little cards and stuff. I made a little bookmark the other day. We did some fun paper. And I cut it up and made bookmarks. But usually we do like little cards and stuff. But I don't know if I got any right here. I just cleaned everything out and took all the cards. There's one of the cards I made like that. Doing different with the stencils, you know. So we have a lot of fun over there. And I got some material. And I got these little flat eggs for Easter. And I have this whole material. I might put some material on them instead of doing just painting. And then essential stencils. I don't know why. I'm an ambassador. I sell for them. Well, I get a little commission, coffee money, and they sent me like a whole bunch of stencils. So I'm thinking I might be giving out some for a prize because I was thinking, oh, these are wonderful. A whole bunch of them. Well, there's 2 of everything. Well, I don't want to be just doing stencils all my life. So, anyways, yeah. So who did I get some? I got some today from Barb. I was going to tell you guys, did you see any guys in the group over there, if you guys go over? I was talking about how I want to collect the stamps. I took some stamps and started collecting them. So there's some girl on there. She's been trading ATCs, artist trading cards, for years. Doesn't she have like a whole pile of the little stamps? Now, I don't know if they'll be collectible, but some of the stamps are just like, this one's beautiful. It's got like pansies on it. I can't really see it, but it's got like pansies on it. So I've been keeping them, but now they're doing art with them. So I thought that was clever, but here's one did an ATC today. Sent me some stickers too. So that's fun to do. So we got a lot of stuff to them we're doing over there. All right, so you guys have a great night, and I hope you come over and visit the group once in a while. Isn't that cute? I can watch myself. So, hope you guys learned some good stuff today. And come join my group. And have a great night. And I hope inspiration finds you wherever you go. And in the meantime, make lots of art. Lots and lots of art. Thanks, guys. I will see you, my members, tomorrow night. And my Artsy Rose group people, my Rosarians. I will see you Saturday. All right, bye, guys.